we're diving into a fascinating topic about a coin that has been making waves in the collector's market, the 2001 P New York State Quarter. Could this humble coin really be worth $1 million? Let's find out. First, let's talk about the basics. The 2001 P New York Quarter was part of the 50 State Quarters program launched by the U.S. Mint. Each quarter in the series was released to celebrate a specific state with a unique design. The New York Quarter features the Statue of Liberty, an outline of the state, and 11 stars symbolizing its rank as the 11th state to join the Union. Now, why is this coin suddenly so valuable? It's important to note that not every 2001 P New York Quarter is worth millions. The majority of these coins are worth their face value of 25 cents. However, certain rare variations or errors can increase their value significantly. One of the key factors collectors look for is the condition of the coin. Coins graded as MS-68 or higher on the Sheldon scale are incredibly rare and sought after. To put it in perspective, a perfect MS-70 grade is almost unheard of for circulating coins, making anything close to it exceptionally valuable. Another factor is mint errors. Errors like double die obverse, off-center strikes, or missing design elements can make a coin highly desirable. For example, if your 2001 P New York Quarter has a visible minting flaw, it could fetch thousands or even millions of dollars, depending on the rarity of the error. Let's also talk about auction records. Some state quarters with unique errors or flawless conditions have sold for astronomical amounts at auctions. However, claims of $1 million for a 2001 P New York Quarter are more speculative than factual. It's crucial to verify the authenticity and grading of the coin before jumping to conclusions about its worth. If you think you might have a valuable 2001 P New York Quarter, here's what you should do. First, examine the coin carefully for any unusual features. Then, consider getting it graded by a professional coin grading service like PGS or NGC. They'll provide an official certification that can significantly boost the coin's market value. Remember, not all coins with perceived errors are rare, and not all rare coins are worth millions. The true value of a coin depends on its demand among collectors and its rarity in the market. So, is the 2001 P New York Quarter worth $1 million? The short answer is maybe, but only under very specific circumstances. For most of us, it's a fun and historical coin to collect, but for a lucky few, it might just be a golden ticket. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video and want to learn more about rare coins and collectibles, make sure to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. Let us know in the comments if you come across any interesting coins. The 1965 Washington Quarter is one of the most sought-after coins by collectors and investors due to a rare error that has made it incredibly valuable. While most 1965 Washington Quarters are worth only a quarter's face value, there's a small number of these coins that have become worth millions. Let's take a closer look at why this is, and how a single 1965 Washington Quarter could potentially be worth over $1 million. First, it's important to understand that the U.S. Mint made a significant change in 1965 regarding the composition of the quarter. For the first time, quarters were made with a copper-nickel clad composition instead of the traditional 90% silver. This was due to a national coin shortage, as silver was being used for many other purposes during that time. The Mint produced millions of these new quarters, but it wasn't long before an error occurred. In 1965, some of the quarters were struck with the wrong type of metal. Specifically, some were made with silver instead of the copper-nickel clad. These silver quarters are extremely rare, with only a handful of them known to exist. That's what makes them so valuable today. These silver 1965 quarters are sometimes referred to as 1965 silver Washington Quarters, and they can be worth upwards of $1 million in the right market conditions. The rarity and the sheer historical significance of these coins make them incredibly desirable. Collectors, investors, and even museums are on the lookout for these rare pieces of American history. Many of these coins have been discovered in rare finds, and as more time goes by, they become harder and harder to find. This only drives up the value. In fact, one 1965 silver quarter, in particular, was sold for a whopping $1.1 million at auction, and it set the record for the most expensive Washington quarter ever sold. The reason this particular coin fetched such a high price was because of its pristine condition. When it was sold, it was in near mint condition, which is a rare find for any coin, let alone a coin that's nearly 6 decades old. It's important to note that not all 1965 Washington quarters are worth such an enormous amount. The key to determining the value of a 1965 quarter lies in its composition, condition, and rarity. Most 1965 quarters are made from the standard copper nickel-clad metal and are worth only face value. But if you're lucky enough to find one of the rare silver-struck errors, you could be holding on to a small fortune. If you come across a 1965 quarter, it's important to have it evaluated by a professional coin appraiser or a numismatic expert to determine its authenticity and value. The market for rare coins is very specific, and an expert will be able to give you a clearer understanding of whether you have one of these valuable silver 1965 quarters or just a regular coin. To sum up, while most 1965 Washington quarters are worth just a quarter, a select few, those struck with silver, have become among the most valuable coins in American history. With some of these coins selling for over $1 million at auction, it's clear that the world of coin collecting can be both exciting and highly lucrative for those who are lucky enough to find rare and valuable coins. So, keep an eye on your change, because you never know when you might find one of these incredible silver 1965 Washington quarters. We're diving into one such coin that could be worth a staggering $1.2 million. Meet the Virginia $quarter coin, a piece of American history that has captured the attention of collectors and investors alike. Released as part of the 50-state quarters program, the Virginia quarter was minted in 2000. At first glance, it might appear to be just another coin, part of the nationwide collection celebrating the individual states. But one particular version of this coin holds a secret, a hidden rarity that can make it worth an unimaginable amount. The Virginia quarter was designed to represent the state's rich history, featuring an image of the Statue of Liberty with the words "Virginia is for lovers" inscribed on it. But for collectors, it's not just the design that matters. What makes some of these quarters so valuable are the errors and unique features that can be found on rare examples. Among the vast number of Virginia quarters minted, there are a select few with a very special feature, a rare mint error. This error occurred during the production of some coins, making them highly sought after by collectors. The minting mistake resulted in a unique variety that stands apart from the standard issue, one that has been known to fetch prices as high as $1.2 million. So what exactly makes these coins so valuable? It all comes down to rarity, condition, and demand. The Virginia quarter with this mint error is an anomaly, and only a handful of these coins have ever been discovered. As with any collectible, the fewer there are, the more valuable they become. For example, one of the key errors in these Virginia quarters is a phenomenon known as doubling, where the coin features a double image of certain elements, like the date or lettering. Such imperfections are rare in coin production, but when they do occur, they can dramatically increase the value of the coin. Experts suggest that if you happen to find one of these rare error coins in your collection, or even in your pocket change, it could be worth millions. In recent years, rare Virginia quarter dollars with mint errors have sold for astronomical prices. Auction houses and collectors' markets have seen these coins change hands for prices in the range of several $100,000, with the most valuable specimens crossing the $1 million mark. In fact, at one of the biggest coin auctions, A single Virginia quarter with a unique mint error was sold for over $1.2 million. This sale shocked the coin collecting community and set a new standard for rare state quarters. It showed just how lucrative rare coins can be, especially when they're part of a larger series like the 50 state quarters program. So why is the Virginia quarter so special? It's all about that minting error. Most quarters are mass-produced, but when something goes wrong during the minting process, the result can be a one-of-a-kind coin. And that's exactly what happened with some of these Virginia quarters. The value of these coins is not just about the metal they're made from, but the historical significance and rarity. In this case, only a few have been found with a specific mint error that makes them so desirable. Collectors are willing to pay top dollar for coins like these because they represent a piece of history. While the Virginia quarter dollar with mint errors is one of the most famous examples of high-value state quarters, it's far from the only coin to have reached staggering prices. In the world of numismatics, rare and error coins can often bring unexpected wealth to those who are lucky enough to find them. If you're wondering how to tell if your Virginia quarter is worth a fortune, here are a few tips. First, examine the coin for any obvious minting errors, like doubling or off-center strikes. Next, make sure it's in good condition. A well-preserved coin is worth far more than one that's worn or damaged. We have an incredible story to share. We're diving into the world of rare coins, specifically the Connecticut state $quarter coin, and you won't believe the price it can fetch in the market. This coin, which is part of the 50 state quarters program, was issued in 1999 and has gained quite the reputation in recent years. The market value of a specific version of this coin has reached an astonishing $1.3 million. Yes, you heard that right, $1.3 million. Stick around as we explore how this coin became so valuable, what makes it so rare, and what you need to look for in your collection. The Connecticut quarter was released in 1999 as part of the United States Mint's 50 State Quarters program, which aimed to celebrate each of the 50 states with its own unique design. Connecticut's coin features an image of a sailor from the state's maritime history, with a ship in the background. This coin was meant to honor the state's history and its role in American independence. So, what makes a Connecticut quarter worth $1.3 million? It's not just any regular quarter that you might find in your pocket change. The coin that is making waves in the numismatic world is a rare misprint, known as the double die error. This error occurred during the minting process, where the design of the coin was stamped twice, creating a noticeable doubling effect on certain features of the coin. The result is a coin with an error that is extremely sought after by collectors. As you might expect, such an error is incredibly rare. The doubly stamped Connecticut quarters were never intended to be released, so only a handful of them exist. The rarity of these misprinted coins is one of the main reasons they can fetch such a high price at auction. In fact, some of these coins have sold for upwards of $1.30 million. But how do you identify one of these rare Connecticut quarters? It's not as simple as just checking the date and mint mark. The most important feature to look for is the doubling of the design on the obverse of the coin, particularly around the lettering and the details of the sailor's image. The doubling effect will appear blurry or doubled in certain spots, and if you have a magnifying glass, you can often spot it more clearly. To get an accurate idea of whether you have a valuable error coin, it's recommended that you take it to a professional coin appraiser or send it to a reputable grading service. They'll be able to tell you if your coin is one of the rare doubly struck varieties, and if it is, you could be sitting on a small fortune. You may be wondering if all Connecticut state quarters are valuable. Unfortunately, no. While the Connecticut quarter is common, and you can easily find one in circulation, the vast majority of these coins are worth only their face value of 25 cents. So, don't expect to get rich just by collecting these coins unless you come across that rare misprint. As we mentioned earlier, the rare double die Connecticut quarters are the ones that have commanded top dollar at auctions. However, other collectible state quarters can also fetch higher prices, especially if they are in pristine condition, uncirculated, or feature unique errors like off-center strikes or die cracks. But when it comes to the Connecticut quarter, the rare misprints are the real treasure. Conclusion: so, if you've ever wondered if your collection of state quarters could be worth a lot of money, the Connecticut quarter is a great example of how one small error can lead to a massive payout. The $1.3 million Connecticut quarter isn't just a collector's dream, it's proof that sometimes the rarest coins can turn up in the most unexpected places. If you're interested in learning more about rare coins, misprints, or the 50 State Quarters program, make sure to hit that subscribe button, like this video, and leave a comment below telling us if you've ever come across a rare coin in your collection, where we'll uncover the extraordinary story behind a coin that has captivated collectors and investors alike. It's not just any coin, but the 2060 South Dakota $quarter, a coin worth much more than you might think. In fact, some of these quarters have been known to fetch an astonishing price of $1.4 million on the market. Let's dive into why this coin is so valuable and how you can spot one in your collection. In 2006, the U.S. Mint released a series of state quarters as part of its 50 State Quarters program. The South Dakota quarter, part of this series, features the famous Mount Rushmore on the reverse side with the inscription, Mount Rushmore State. It was a beautiful addition to the collection, but not all South Dakota quarters are worth the same. This particular coin, the 2060 South Dakota quarter, is valuable because of a rare minting error that only affects a small number of these quarters. You see, the mint accidentally struck a handful of these coins with a mistake that makes them worth a fortune to collectors. This mistake involves what is called a double die error. What does that mean? Well, during the coin's production, the die that was used to stamp the design onto the quarter was misaligned. This caused a doubling effect on some of the features, most notably the date and some of the text on the coin. The result is a coin with a distinctive look, one that stands out to collectors. Collectors and numismatists alike are always on the lookout for rare minting errors like this, and when they find one, it can significantly increase the value of a coin. In fact, a 2060 South Dakota quarter with a double die error has been known to fetch up to $1.4 million at auction. What's even more interesting is how these coins are discovered. Many people find them while going through their spare change, unaware that they're sitting on a fortune. Others have spotted the error while examining rolls of quarters they purchased from the bank, and some even find them in older coin collections. But finding one of these rare coins is like finding a needle in a haystack. So, how can you spot a 2060 South Dakota quarter with this rare error? First, look closely at the date on the coin. If you see any signs of doubling, where the numbers appear to have two outlines or look blurry, that's a clear indication that it might be a double die error. The same goes for the lettering on the coin. If you think you've found one of these rare coins, the next step is to have it professionally graded. This will determine its authenticity and condition, which can greatly affect its market value. A well-preserved coin in high grade is worth much more than one that's been heavily worn or damaged. Once graded, these coins can be auctioned or sold through reputable dealers, and they've been known to fetch millions of dollars for the lucky few who have discovered them. Of course, not every 2060 South Dakota quarter is worth that much, only those with a double die error. But that doesn't mean the search isn't worth your time. So, if you've got a collection of coins, or you're simply interested in coin collecting, keep an eye out for the 2060 South Dakota quarter. You never know, you might just have a valuable treasure hiding in your pocket change. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video and want to learn more about rare coins and their value, make sure to hit the like button, subscribe to our channel, and ring the bell for notifications. Who knows? We'll dive into the 2001 Kentucky $quarter coin and reveal why it's worth a staggering $1.5 million. Yes, you heard that right, $1.5 million. Let's explore how this ordinary-looking coin became one of the most valuable in the world. First, let's talk about the 2001 Kentucky quarter. This coin is part of the 50-state quarters program, which was launched by the U.S. Mint in 1999. Each state was honored with its own unique quarter design, and Kentucky's design featured a thoroughbred racehorse, which represents the state's deep connection to horse racing and agriculture. The Kentucky quarter has a beautiful design, but what makes this particular coin so special isn't just its look, it's all about the rarity. Most of the 2001 Kentucky quarters in circulation are worth only 25 cents. However, a select few have a rare error that has made them incredibly valuable to collectors. Let's break down how this error coin became worth millions. In 2001, the U.S. Mint accidentally produced a limited number of Kentucky quarters with a serious flaw. These quarters were struck with a misalignment or double die error. This means that the coin was stamped with two impressions of the design, which caused the features to overlap and become distorted. This mistake was relatively rare, and as soon as collectors realized the error, the demand for these specific coins skyrocketed. What makes the 2001 Kentucky quarter with the double die error so valuable is its scarcity. Only a handful of these error coins were ever released, making them highly sought after by numismatists and coin enthusiasts worldwide. Collectors are willing to pay top dollar for these rare coins, which brings us to the astounding price tag of $1.5 million. In recent auctions, some of these double die error Kentucky quarters have sold for eye-popping amounts, sometimes as much as $1.5 million. And no, that's not an exaggeration. In fact, in 2004, one of these error coins was sold for that jaw-dropping amount, setting a record for a quarter's worth. But how can you tell if your Kentucky quarter is one of these million-dollar specimens? To check if you've got a valuable 2001 Kentucky quarter with a double die error, start by closely examining the coin's design. Look at the horse and rider, and closely inspect the state's name and the year. If you notice any doubling or extra impressions around the letters or details, that could be a sign you have one of these rare error coins. The most noticeable feature of the double die error is the doubling effect on the words Kentucky or the date 2001 on the coin's face. You'll also want to check the thoroughbred horse. Any additional lines or distortions in the image could indicate an error coin. Now, don't get too excited just yet. Finding one of these rare error coins is incredibly difficult. Even if you do find one, its value will depend on its condition and how well preserved it is. A coin in mint condition can fetch much higher prices than one that's worn out or damaged. For example, a well-preserved 2001 Kentucky double die error coin could easily be worth hundreds of thousands, while a coin in poor condition may be valued lower. So how do you go about selling such a rare coin? If you think you might have a 2001 Kentucky quarter with a double die error, the next step is to get it appraised by a professional. Certified coin graders can provide an accurate assessment of its value and determine if it's truly a rare error coin. Once graded, the coin will be given a score based on its condition, which will impact its value. Coins that receive a high grade, like MS65 or better, are much more likely to fetch a significant price at auction. Make sure to do your research and connect with reputable coin dealers or auction houses to get the best deal for your rare find. In conclusion, while most 2001 Kentucky quarters are worth just 25 cents, a rare error coin with a double die design can be worth up to $1.5 million. If you got one of these, congratulations, you may be sitting on a small fortune. But remember, these error coins are extremely rare, so don't get your hopes up too high just yet. We're diving into something truly extraordinary in the world of coin collecting. The 1965 Washington $quarter coin that's worth a jaw-dropping $1.6 million. Yes, you heard that right, $1.6 million. So what makes this coin so valuable, and how did it reach such an incredible price? Let's find out. First, let's take a quick look at the 1965 Washington quarter. This coin, which was minted during a time of significant change in the U.S. economy, is part of a series that's well known among collectors. The standard 1965 quarter features the classic image of George Washington, designed by John Flanagan. It's made of a copper nickel-clad composition, which was the norm for quarters after the 1964 coinage shift. However, there's something extremely rare about a few select 1965 Washington quarters that makes them worth millions today. While the vast majority of these coins are worth just 25 cents, or maybe a bit more if they're in mint condition, there are a few very special examples that stand out. These rare coins were struck with a unique error during the minting process, making them incredibly valuable. The coin we're talking about is one that was accidentally struck with a silver composition instead of the usual copper-nickel blend. This error occurred when a small batch of 1965 quarters was mistakenly made using leftover silver planchets, which were originally intended for earlier coins. As a result, some 1965 quarters are made from a silver composition, making them not only historically significant, but also extremely rare. So, why is this particular 1965 Washington quarter worth a staggering $1.6 million? In short, it's the combination of rarity, historical significance, and the mistake in the minting process. Only a handful of these silver-struck coins exist, and one of them was recently sold at auction for an unbelievable $1.6 million. When it comes to coin collecting, rarity is everything, and this 1965 Washington quarter is the perfect example of how a simple mistake can lead to a valuable treasure. If you ever come across a 1965 quarter, make sure to check its composition and examine the edges carefully. You could be holding onto a piece of history that could be worth far more than you ever imagined. Remember, while most 1965 quarters are worth their face value, this era coin is one in a million. It's proof that in the world of numismatics, the most valuable coins are often the ones with the most unexpected stories behind them. Thanks for watching. If you found this information fascinating, don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and ring the bell for more amazing coin stories and tips. And if you think you've found a rare coin in your collection, leave a comment below and let's talk about it. We're going to talk about one of the most exciting and rare coins you may never have heard of, the 1995 P Washington $quarter. This coin has recently made waves in the numismatic world, fetching up to a staggering $1.7 million at auction. But what makes this coin so special, and how can you tell if you've got one in your collection? Let's dive in and find out. First, let's start with the basics. The 1995 P Washington $quarter is part of the regular minting series, produced by the U.S. Mint in Philadelphia. Like most quarters, it features a portrait of George Washington on the obverse and an eagle on the reverse. These coins were minted in large quantities, so they're not rare by default. But here's the catch. While most 1995 P quarters are worth just 25 cents, there's a certain variation of this coin that has made headlines in recent years. The 1995 P Washington quarter that could be worth millions is actually a rare era coin, a double die variety. A double die occurs during the minting process when the coin is struck twice by the die, resulting in a slight shift in the image, making it look as though the details are duplicated. In this case, the error involves a double strike on George Washington's face and the lettering around the coin. The result is a much clearer, more defined image that stands out compared to the standard quarters. Only a few of these double die era coins were made, and that's what makes them so valuable. So, how did this coin make it to a $1.7 million price tag? It all started with the discovery of a 1995 P Washington quarter that had this error. The coin was found in circulation, meaning it wasn't intentionally set aside by collectors. After its discovery, the coin was sent to a reputable grading service, and it was certified as being in near-perfect condition. When it was auctioned, the bidding frenzy was intense, and it ended up selling for an incredible $1.7 million. This coin became a symbol of just how valuable rare error coins can be. It also shows the importance of keeping an eye on your pocket change. You never know when you might find something worth a fortune. Now, if you're wondering how to spot a valuable 1995 P Washington quarter, here are a few tips. The most obvious feature of this rare coin is the double die. The areas around Washington's eye, nose, and cheek will show signs of doubling. The lettering around the coin will also appear doubled or offset. As with any collectible coin, the condition of the coin matters. Coins that are in near-perfect or uncirculated condition are far more valuable than those with visible wear and tear. If you suspect you have a rare coin, consider sending it to a professional grading service. They'll examine the coin for authenticity and assign a grade that will help determine its value. In conclusion, while the 1995 P Washington quarter dollar isn't rare in itself, the double die error version is one of the most valuable coins on the market today, with one example recently selling for an eye-popping $1.7 million. If you're a coin collector, or even if you just happen to have some spare change lying around, keep an eye out for this potential jackpot. Thanks for watching, and if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell for more numismatic news and tips. Who knows? The next rare coin might just be in your pocket. We're diving into one of the most exciting stories in the world of coin collecting. If you have a 2003 P Maine quarter in your collection, you might want to sit down because it could be worth a lot more than you think. We're talking a potential value of up to $1.9 million. That's right, this seemingly ordinary coin could be worth a fortune, and today, we're going to explain why. The 2003 P Maine quarter is part of the United States 50 State Quarters program, which was released to honor each of the 50 states. These coins were struck at the Philadelphia Mint, and the Maine quarter features an image of the Pemaquid Point Lighthouse. So why could a quarter from this program be worth such an astonishing amount? The key factor here is rarity and the condition of the coin. Most 2003 P Maine quarters are not worth much more than their face value, just 25 cents. However, certain versions of this coin, especially those with unique errors, can be worth hundreds of dollars or even millions. The $1.9 million Maine quarter is the result of a minting error. During production, a very small number of Maine quarters were mistakenly struck with a significant flaw. They were missing certain design elements, or there were double strikes, creating a rare and unique error. Coins with this kind of error are highly sought after by collectors, especially when they are in good condition. Coins with errors like this are so rare that they can fetch astronomical amounts at auction. The most famous of these error coins, a 2003 P Maine quarter with an off-center strike, sold for a mind-blowing $1.9 million. This particular coin was discovered by a sharp-eyed collector who noticed the flaw and submitted it to a reputable grading service. The rest, as they say, is history. Now, you might be wondering, how can you tell if your 2003 P Maine quarter is one of these rare error coins? Check if the design on your quarter looks off-center, blurred, or doubled. These types of minting flaws can drastically increase a coin's value. Coins that are in mint condition or near mint, graded as MS65 or higher, are more likely to fetch a higher price, especially when they feature an error. In some cases, the Maine quarter might have missing elements or unusual details. A missing date or a double-struck design can be particularly valuable. If you think you might have one of these error coins in your collection, it's important to get it professionally graded. A reputable coin grading service, like the Numismatic Guarantee Corporation, NGC, or Professional Coin Grading Service, PCGS, will examine the coin's authenticity and condition. Once graded, the coin's value can be determined, and it will be protected in a certified holder, ensuring that its value remains intact. So, there you have it, the incredible story of the 2003 P Maine quarter that's worth up to $1.9 million. If you've got a 2003 P Maine quarter, be sure to check it carefully for any minting errors. If you find one, you might just have a small fortune on your hands. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon so you never miss an update on the world of coin collecting and other amazing stories.